the Praise Report, a media ministry of Heartland Christian Center. Many have been touched physically, spiritually, and emotionally while enjoying the program. And now, here's Pastor John.
John Dalesio, you are tuned in to a program called Fishing with the Pastor. Say, Fishing with the Pastor will bring joy that will last you. Now, I'm going to wear this hat to do this because I'm dedicating this program to one of my grandsons. That's him that you see on the screen. His name is Christopher. How many of you love Christopher? Woo! See, Christopher, they love you. Now, I'm a Yankee fan. Don't turn the channel. I am a Yankee fan. Whatever team that you like, you should support your team. Well, I'm a Yankee fan. I'm going to wear this hat. This Christopher again, you see, in a baseball uniform. And he is, Christopher, you are my favorite baseball player. And Christopher has now taken up fishing. That is a good thing to do. Now, when I was a child, and my family used to rent a place for the summer on Toms River, New Jersey. And the men, it was a family business, and they would come on the weekends, and the kids would go down there with the mommies. And across the way there by Toms River, there was water and a dock. And I used to go on the end of that dock and just fish and sit there and fish and look at the water. And it used to concern, Christopher used to concern Grandma. And she would get nervous about me going sitting on that dock for hours. And then one day she said to her father, Nicole, that's a picture of him you're seeing, that's my grandpa Nicole, served in World War I, who was also a great fisherman. And she would say to her, it's your great grandpa, she would say to him, Dad, I'm concerned about your son, meaning me. And I mean, she had reason to be concerned about me. No, but she said, Dad, I'm concerned about my son John. And my grandfather said, why? Because he sits out on that dock there for hours looking at the water. What is he thinking? What is he doing? And this is what he said to Grandma. Tessie, you no worry about your son fishing. As long as he's fishing, he's not getting in trouble or doing other stupid things. So, Christopher, I'm glad you took up fishing. But I'm going to wear this hat. You're seeing a close-up of it because they didn't just make this for the Yankees. They're promoting my age. You see my age on there? This is true that I am 39. Now, you could say I'm not. You could take it off. It's 39 all through the inside. You see? I'm 39, and that's fine. I will wear this, and the reason I decided to wear this was given by my daughter's boyfriend. I'm going to wear it because this cameraman, he hates me, Manny. He takes these close-ups of me. I hate photographs, still. I don't mind the video because it only stays there a second. You know what I mean? I mean, you go doing the video. If you got a shot you don't like, it's gone before you know what happened. So I'm more animated, but I'm 39. So I'm going to wear this because you are my favorite baseball player in the whole world. Oh, that thing popped right back up. You see that? Can't get rid of it. And because I know he's going to do close-ups because this is called Fishing Tips Part 1. Right? Can a pastor fish? Yes. I'm going to tell you something. You know, when Jesus wanted to build up a team, guess who he went to look for? Fishermen. And a lot of times when somebody's in the ministry and God's working on them, I give them an opportunity to work on the sound. And you got to have a lot of patience for that. And sometimes I take them fishing because Christopher and the rest of us, there's 3 things that you need to have to be a good fisherman. Timing, presentation, and sensitivity. Timing, how this piece of plastic hits that water. You have to make it look like it's a real life thing. So you have to have the presentation And you have to have a sensitivity and the timing when to set that hook. Now, in bass fishing, they have a very stiff lip around them. It's a bone, hard bone. So before that hook can get into their jaw, it's first got to penetrate the plastic. So you have to have the hook properly. You have to have the right type of a pole, and we're going to do some sessions on the difference between spinning reels and bait casting and when to use which. But today, we're going to talk about mainly how to tie a knot. Now, I'm going to show you my favorite knot. I don't know how I learned this knot, but I'm sure somebody must have taught me. So whoever you are, I've been using it so long. I don't remember. I don't know how I learned this knot. I just know that sometimes when I used to tie knots, it would slip and would get free. Or sometimes, you know, a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. So a lot of times when you set the hook and it broke, it would break at the knot. So I learned this knot. But first we're going to remove the worm. Now, that was called a weedless. Let's go there. This is how you make that worm weedless. Got the hook. I use a wide gap. Now down here, Christopher, we got some big bass. You see one on the screen that Grandpa caught. All right. You think that's all I caught? There's another one for you. That was not the same fish. I got so many times people accused of using the same fish. People even thought I caught the fish or whatever and put on hook and throw it back in. You put the hook in maybe about 1/4 of an inch. Come back out, twist it around, and now this little lip helps it from sliding down. It's covering the knot, and when I put the hook in the plastic, it's weedless. I can work that right through the weeds. But what I do is work it a little bit and make it soft right there, and I do it until I can just feel the hook. So now it's going to be easy to get through the plastic. I set the hook, and there is another one right there on the screen. So let's look at this. I'm going to cut this off. Now, I am using a braided line. It's not monofilament. It's braided. This is 20-pound test. Some of you can use 1 pound on the fish you catch, but this is 20-pound test. It's braided. To use a braided line, you have to have the right pole, the right drag, because it doesn't stretch. So we'll talk more about that in the future. But this is a braided line. I'm going to cut it off. I'll show you my secret. This is Pastor John's secret fishing hook. Fishing knot. I use my glasses, and it's in line. I'm not showing the brand of none of this until they sponsor the program. And that's the truth. Come over here. Now, in your tackle box, you should have, or in your boat, always have a first aid kit. Always have nail clippers. Now, if you use a monofilament, you can clip it with it. But with braided line, it doesn't work as good. With braided line, you use a good sharp scissors. I double the line, and I wet it. It tickles a little bit when you do that. And I thread it. I don't know how close the camera could see that. And my nails are all dirty because we had a yard sale yesterday. And hard to get all that dirt out on the thing. Now I do this. One, two, four. Gotta run it back through. And then, see what it says lining? Why did it slide so easily? Because I wet it. So when you wet it, it makes it slide, especially if you use a monofilament, because it can burn the line and make it weak. Now it's all the way down, and I got some extra on here. I take my scissors, and I cut the extra off. And now I do one more thing. Now see, you see that little piece that's left up there? This is why I use a lighter. Because when you light it, even if it's monofilament, it gets rid of the excess and it makes a little lump at the end of the line that helps it not to slide out. You get that? So you can watch it again and again and again. Now, this is what I showed you was rigging a weedless soft plastic. This color is called motor oil and a chartreuse tip. I like chartreuse. Fish love to attack that thing. It annoys them. See, a lot of times the fish won't bite because he's hungry. He'll bite because he's annoyed. So we need to learn how to anticipate or entice a strike. So then I put it in, pull it back out. I love you too, Christopher. Put it in. Tell everybody I love them. Now, Christopher, I have one concern. When you make the major leagues, I will still love you, and you're probably going to have to play for some other teams. So we'll just have to root for you anyway, even when you're playing against the Yankees. But sure make my day if you become the Yankee pitcher. Woo! Say hallelujah. So there you are. Now, I'm going to show you one more thing. This is a weight. They call it a bullet weight because it looks like a bullet. Don't swallow it. Now, of course, you would do this before you tie the hook on, but I wanted to show how to tie a knot. When you put this in here like this, the line is so fine, even though it's braided. Don't cut it with your teeth. Now look what we got here. This is called a Texas rig. So the bullet is down there and slides so the fish don't feel it too much. Use the lightest weight possible. So when you throw that out there, it helps it sink, and then we go from there. But the main thing we want, this is Texas rig. On another program, I'll show you what's called the Carolina rig. Texas rig, this is a weedless plastic bait with a 4-aught hook and a bullet weight on a sliding bullet weight. I love you. No extra charge for this. So this is Pastor John's fishing tip part 1, right? If you're going to catch a fish with a hook and a line, you need to know how to tie it on, right? Very frustrating when you get a fish on and the knot slides or it breaks at the knot. All right, so that is, I don't know what you call that knot. I don't even know how I learned that knot, but I've been using it for years and years and years. Love you, Christopher. Love all you fishermen. It is a good sport. It is and was and will be one of the most popular outdoor activities in the world, fishing. I love fishing. And remember what Jesus did when he was going to start the ministry? What did he do? He went and found some fishermen. And fishermen learned what? Timing, presentation, sensitivity. And what else do you need to be a good fisherman? Patience. patience. I love you all. Share this with somebody and pray for us, and we'll continue to pray. By the way, my name is John Dalesio, pastor of the thriving Heartland Christian Center. Bye, they're all nuts.